why hasn't Kim Jong-un responded to your request to have a conversation?
How do you know he hasn't responded?
Has he?
Yeah, he has.
And when I walk into that ballroom, you know, they call it a ballroom because it's full of balls. Gotta walk into that ballroom full of balls and just grab the balls. And everybody's gonna be telling me, Mr. President, your balls are so wonderful.
Mr. President, you have such big balls. You have the biggest balls. The biggest ballroom full of balls.
Like that great song says, I've got the biggest balls of them all.
Like that great song says, I've got bigger balls than Iran, than the Ayatollah, number two. Number two is the Ayatollah number two. You know what happened to number one, Luigi? You know what happened to Ayatollah number one? We eliminated him.
Eliminated.
Eliminated. We eliminated him. And now, Ayatollah number two, I have bigger balls than him. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. News conference done. News conference done. Get away, fake news. Move away. Fakest of news. You. Who did you work for? I'm CNN. Fuck CNN. The losers. You're a loser.
Low rating.
JD Vance. Speed on her. Go speed on her, JD. Yes, boss.
Quiet. You're very disrespectful in front of this young man. Okay? Don't you find her disrespectful? He understands. Quiet. Who are you with?
I'm with CNN.
Fake news.
I
You're
just wanted
fake
to follow
news.
up on this up.
You're
Yeah,
loud. You're a loud, boisterous person. You're fake news.
I was
Be
trying to find out
quiet.
if
Be
you had
quiet.
been talking
Be
to Kim
quiet.
Jong-un, if he had asked you
You're a
to
fake
scale back
reporter, and you
on the
report fake
military
news.
exercise.
I'm looking at a very interesting poll run by Reuters right now that says most Americans believe Trump has inappropriately profited since returning to power.
No,
no. I mean, 69% of adults think so. I'm shocked. Who
no way,
would have
Luigi.
seen that coming?
What could
A,
it be?
a majority of Americans believe President Trump and his family have inappropriately profited from cryptocurrency.
Was it the shit coins? I was gonna say, was it the shit coins? Was it the sneakers? Was it the university? Was it the Bible? Was it the Bible with the Trump quote? We're the hottest country in the world. Mohammed bin Salman from the Bible.
I mean, you have to hand it to the guy. He won the presidency twice and ran 3 times without disclosing his tax returns, which is like the most basic thing you could ever do.
So funny because it's been said a billion times and it's like ancient history now. But it's like, remember that they made fucking Carter sell his fucking peanut farm.
The peanut farm. Like the peanut farm.
The peanut farm was like, no peanut farm for you. And it's like the other guy's like, buy my shit coin. Please buy my shit coin. It's been blessed by Junior.
40 years later, we've ended up with a penis farm, my good sir.
I will never divest my penis farm. I love all my children equally. I will never divest from them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, incredible. We're talking about... We don't have many things to talk about. It's a slow... It's the summer vibes, Luigi. Sorry. The summer vibes.
The summer doldrums.
The slow vibes of the summer. It's now deep summer. We've been sizzling for like a while now. So I mean, things are stewing along nicely, and we don't have many. We don't have a lot of news. I just don't. So we're gonna roll with this.
There's a bunch of smaller stuff happening.
Give us the small stuff, Louis. We're gonna nitpick today.
I mean, I'm looking at the latest news. There's a bunch of interesting, but not. So, for example, US borrowing costs are surging. They are at a 2-decade high. We're talking about very long-term interest rates. The
US
30-year
dollars,
rate.
US dollar value, US borrowing costs. It's the reverse.
Yeah,
It's like
It's-
that one.
it's a bit of everything. It's massive fiscal irresponsibility. Like the government is like at a 7% deficit and increasing. I mean, Trump is not the president to rein in the deficit. And
Why
you've
is
got-
he standing?
yeah, and you've got all of this AI spending happening in the background, and inevitably that pushes up borrowing costs because more companies, more people overall want to borrow right now, and that shows up everywhere. So it's a weird environment, I'd say. So far, it doesn't mean anything that the rates are going up, but if it persists, could matter. You know what they say, it doesn't
It's
matter
one of those
until it
reasons.
does.
It's one of those reasons where recently he intervened. I don't know if it's futile, we'll see. Half of it has already been rendered futile, but he intervened with Japan by buying up Japanese yens. That way he did.
Correct.
And one of the reasons I know that he did that is because Japan was getting prepared to sell shitloads of US bonds that he was holding. And they didn't want to see that because that was going to make their yields go up.
Exactly. So the traditional way you intervene in currency markets is either you agree with so let's say the US and the Japan agree to intervene together, or if I'm Japan and I need to intervene alone, well, I need to buy my own currency. So I need to sell another nation's currency to buy my own. And yeah, the obvious choice is the US dollar.
They have a lot of
Obviously,
it. Yeah.
yeah. They didn't want to do that.
Developed nations do.
Yeah.
A lot of that good US debt bond that they can fucking start selling. If only they had those beautiful balls in my ballroom.
The funny part about this intervention is that they intervened in the market to buy yen, by the Americans sold euros.
Yeah, they fucked us. That's so funny.
They sold, instead of selling their own currency, they sold euros. And the funniest part, a few days later, you're getting those headlines that the European Central Bank was not consulted
No,
about this.
goddamn way. That's not his MO.
I'm shocked.
That's nice.
I'm shocked.
He's never
This
done that before.
is my shocked face. I mean,
He recently, Luigi, for those who are gonna go, the one of the major army exercises was gonna happen with South Korea, and like 11 hours before they were supposed to begin, joined like drills with the United States. The Trump was like, "No, we're not doing them. I love Kim Jong-un, and this is for the best." And I mean, when he was asked in the goddamn press conference, he was like, he didn't join my stupid war in Iran.
When I called recently, President of South Korea, who I like, I think he's very nice actually, but I called him, I said, would you like to give us a little hand? We don't need help with Iran, but if you'd like, give us a hand with Iran. He said, no thanks. And I said, wait a minute, we have 39,000 soldiers over there guarding you from Kim Jong-un, your next door neighbor, and you're not going to help us on a very easy military operation in Iran? That's strange.
It's like, bro, brother
they are
in Christ.
across the world.
How many fucking nations, brother in Christ, do you know that just willy fucking nilly joined stupid wars because another nation was like, yeah, I'm gonna bomb them now, and then create a major fucking catastrophe. We lost like a fifth of our oil, and it's like, why didn't he come along and bomb Iran as well? Maybe he didn't want Iran to fucking bomb them. Maybe they didn't want to join a stupid fucking war that they had nothing to do with, were never consulted about. And then he's like, I'm gonna punish them now because they're weak. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm living in an alternate reality, Luigi. This
Not. It's the base reality. But look, I was hoping we wouldn't discuss the elephant in the room, but fuck it, let's talk about what's happening in Iran. What ceasefire are we on? They're like number 7 by now. Are we in a ceasefire or are we actively bombing them? I've lost count.
Ceasefire right now. I think we're in a ceasefire. But I mean,
This
it
is
isn't like I think they recently came out a few days ago and were like, nah, we're gonna drag this until November.
He threatened, I only saw the headlines, I didn't read the full article, but like he threatened to bomb Oman if it intervened like in the
Yeah.
situation.
He's
Like-
done that before. This
Yeah,
is
I
the
mean-
second time he's threatened
Yeah,
to bomb
yeah.
the shit out of Oman. What is this behavior? Even Genghis Khan like fucking measured his words better than this goddamn imbecile.
I mean, a drunk guy at a brothel at 5 o'clock in the morning measures his words
Yeah.
a little bit better
A
than Donald
little
Trump.
bit better
Just
than
a
this.
tiny bit.
And I'm like, I don't want to care so much. I mean, but like, what is this? What is? I'm gonna bomb those fuckers if they protest. What about France? I'm gonna bomb France. What is this? What is this? Get a fucking grip of your country, America. This is like it's descending into lunacy at this point.
2.5 more years.
2.5 more years.
Yeah,
So what's
so
gonna happen in the future? Nothing. Nothing's gonna happen. He's gonna try a few ceasefires. They're gonna string him along until November. I mean, definitely, I think as we're gonna approach November, the Iranians are really gonna fuck with him with the Straits so that no oil gets through because they really wanna pump those gas prices before the election. And he's gonna sit there like a moron, being like, because there's another issue I think we haven't discussed about the Iran war, which is America's stock supplies, armaments and shit. And
Yeah.
nobody's sure exactly where they are, but they've used up a lot. And at this point, they gotta replenish at one point because they've got a USS aircraft carrier that's breaking all records at sea. It's
Yeah.
like supplies
there's
are
stories-
starting. Yeah.
there's stories about the sailors on that aircraft carrier basically going crazy and jumping off the fucking boat. Because that's what, like 6 or months or a year
It's
at
highly
sea would do to you.
abnormal to keep people outside of even land for a few days for like 300 days almost.
Look,
Yeah.
The high level analysis is this. As we've discussed many times on the show, the only thing Trump listens to is the stock market.
The
The
storms.
The stock market, he's so fucking lucky for the following reason. If he was pulling this shit during a normal period, let's say during 2018, the stock market would have tanked. But he's pulling this shit randomly, I mean, not by his own doing, during the biggest investment boom in history. Corporate profits, I checked yesterday, are up 50% from last year. Dude, 50% is an insane number. Like 20% for profits is a really good year. 50% is insane. But the real point is the stock market is never going to fall when profits are going up 50% year on year. Like it's just not gonna happen. The corrections are going to be shallow. I mean, not investment advice and all of that, but in an like stocks ultimately track
there's
profits.
no way.
Profits are booming. So the market isn't going to rein Trump in. So fuck knows.
Even
I'm
with
starting.
astronomically high, not astronomically high, but even with, let's say, another $2 on the price of gas, say like $6.
Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Like
It's not
something
gonna affect
catastrophic needs something of the order.
We're talking
like
about the
the
stock market now, yeah.
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 The AI investment boom
It's so
needs to
big.
be it needs to be disrupted or
So
stopped by
by
something.
AI, like by AI variables, like where China does whatever. But
That
what you're
yeah,
saying is that the actual living cost crisis, what people will experience, which will be pretty bad once it gets that high. The stock market completely dislocated from that, which is because
exactly.
he's still gonna have extreme repercussions on the ballot box when the gas price gets that
Yeah, yeah,
high, and the stock market is still gonna be fine.
exactly.
We're
Basically,
making this.
the economy always matters, but the point where the economy's back breaks has been pushed
I
further
think the
out,
thing is, we
right?
also have two economies. We have the economy that the real people experience, which also matters because they vote. And then you have the other one, which
Yeah, yeah.
is doing boomingly.
It's always driven me almost crazy that we live in a world where some people have nothing to eat, and other people can buy like islands and
I mean, it's the majority that have
beds, and
nothing. And it's like,
yeah,
what we're describing is the manifestation of what they've been talking about, the K-shaped economy. It's
yeah, yeah.
like the stock market is kept high by the Apple king in the K. And then the rest of the population is like an inverse of the gas prices. It's like it's
Bro,
going down.
it's literally the Marie Antoinette let them eat cake moment.
Let the meatballs from my ballroom, the most beautiful ballroom full of balls, Luigi. I think, yeah, what else? What else have we
Yeah.
got? Have we got anything else?
Here's the new prediction.
Go
Given that
on.
the market will never rein in His Royal Majesty, the Orange King, I'm starting to believe that we're gonna be like trapped in this Iran quagmire in 4 months, 6 months.
It's
Like we're gonna
gonna
be in
be
the
a
midterms.
forever war,
Dude, we're
people.
gonna be in the midterms, and the guy that promised no forever wars will be in the middle of a forever war.
It's like a Greek tragedy.
Yeah.
Like
Speaking of, I did see the Odyssey.
what a segue. Dun, dun, dun. It has been a summer vibes. Yes, we're gonna do
Okay.
the Odyssey review. If you're wondering what the fuck we're talking about, watch the previous episode.
Okay, so here's my
Give
take
us.
on the Odyssey. It was a spectacularly well-made movie, cinematographically, was well shot. The scenes were extremely graphic. It was easy and nice to watch. The acting was above average, depending on which actors we are describing.
Luigi, did you
Yeah,
like the one, the only Matt Damon? Did you like him?
it was a pretty good
He
Odysseus.
wasn't bad.
Yeah,
I'll take
I
it
mean,
because you shot on me the last episode.
he was pretty decent.
He was
To be
okay.
fair, he still seemed like a homeless wizard to me.
But that's a good
That's the
Odysseus. It's
vibe.
like,
Yeah, that's the vibe of
and you
Odysseus. Yeah,
don't want a guy who takes the spotlight because, like, Odysseus is the main character, but it's like there's Achilles, there's Agamemnon. It's
of
like
course.
he's gonna be a little bit of a beta. It's like I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
Matt, Chef's
So
kiss. Yes,
Matt was really good. Where the movie started to fall off, first of all,
yes,
there were a couple of scenes that didn't make sense. Like they were shot
yes.
in a way.
Sorry, Luigi, I wanted to talk about this before, but I don't want to spoil, so I was waiting until you watched it. We can get in depth
I,
about this.
I'm not gonna go in depth so we don't spoil it for the viewers as well. But there is one scene in particular where you watch it and you're like, that doesn't literally doesn't make sense.
I want to
I'll
spoil
give,
it. Warning.
I'll give them some leeway in that a lot of times when you are shooting and editing a 3 hour
Yes.
movie, like some parts are gonna get lost and you've seen it so much that it's not obvious to you that the
Luigi,
crew.
you're talking about the Cyclops scene.
That scene, there's another scene where they're escaping an island. You see 30 dudes going into the island,
The
and when
dudes
they're
multiply
escaping,
sometimes.
after half of them have died, they're about 100 coming back, and you're like, that also doesn't make sense. Okay, whatever.
I love the
Agamemnon,
scene though. Did you like the actual Odyssey? I thought it was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
great. I thought,
it was a good movie, solid movie.
yeah, no,
overall. And
I know, no, yeah, I'm not
and
saying
I
that.
wasn't bored. I wasn't bored over 3 hours, which is a tall task.
There's no people, I mean, no movie is perfect. You can criticize even your favorite movie. Yeah.
Look, Agamemnon's role, I feel, was too small. I would have liked to see more than a minute of Agamemnon. Okay,
What did you think of the end? I love the way he shot it. When he went back and then his
the
wife
sacking, yeah,
murdered him.
of Agamemnon, yeah.
Yeah.
The overall end, the sacking of Troy, was very nicely shot, but the actual end, like the fight scene where Odysseus like kills 40 dudes in a row with like a bow, it was a bit over the top. I know that's the material. I know
Well,
that's the actual material.
my argument is don't change it. Shoot it better, Nolan. Chris, you can do it. Was a bit shoddy. I felt it was
Yeah.
over long. If it's gonna be not that cool cinematographically, the fight scene, shorten it.
But here's the issue. As with every Nolan movie, great cinematographically, the chronology was also done well, but as with every good Nolan movie, the good ones are written by his brother, and this one wasn't. And it really shows. Like Interstellar, Dark Knight, Memento, all of his best hits written by his brother. So, in conclusion, it was a nice watch. I don't think I'd watch it again, but I'm not sad. I don't
would watch
regret
it again.
watching it.
On that point, I want to say that. What do you think? Because he changed the character of Odysseus. Because I mean, in the poem, in the epic poem, he's supposed to be the crafty, smart guy favored by the gods,
Yeah.
Athena, whatever.
Yeah.
In this one, he was a PTSD guy
Yeah.
who had the idea about the Trojan horse. I liked it, and if I can connect it with I'm not saying that if you did the original take, it wouldn't be good. I'm just arguing the guy's allowed his take on a 3,000 fucking year old literary character, for fuck's sake. If he's not allowed to do Odysseus his way,
Yeah.
who is he allowed to? And
You are right, though, that Odysseus should be like an almost genius level
It was
character,
very different.
and he wasn't. He
it was
wasn't.
very different. Yeah. The take was he was a PTSD guy who was regretting what he did with the Trojan War. And in the original point, there is no regret about the Trojan horse. It's considered the most ingenious move in the history of warfare, good sir. There's never a hill. It
Sorry.
doesn't signify the collapse or whatever Nolan said it does. But I thought it was great. It was his adaptation. And I thought it was definitely the best one he's written himself. By far.
Himself,
And I
yeah.
thought, Luigi, that in Oppenheimer, he couldn't even pull this off about the guy who made the nuke. I never felt enough regret from fucking Oppenheimer. Whereas with a
Odysseus,
mystical fucking fake character
Yeah.
named Odysseus, he sold it better to me.
Yeah. In any case, solid watch. I would place it below Interstellar for sure.
If only he had
Somewhere-
nailed that ending. Yeah.
Yeah. Somewhere between Oppenheimer and Inception, as far as Nolan movies go, I'd give it a 7.
Your favorites are Inception and The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight and Interstellar. Like The Dark Knight, Interstellar, and everything else is quite far away.
For
from
me, it's The
those.
Dark Knight, Interstellar, and The Odyssey. Those are his best three.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, no, if we go further back, he's got better ones, but I don't want to go
Memento.
that far back. Yeah, The Prestige, Memento, they're all
The
really
Prestige
good.
was great.
Yeah, but they're really old at this point, so I want to talk about his more recent work. So I would say, yeah, those three. It was good, whatever. Well done, Chris. Keep on rocking in
The free world.
semi-free world, whatever. Are we done,
Very good.
Luigi? Let's have a proper outro. Let's thank our viewers. Jesus. If you like the show, people, please like and subscribe. We love subscriptions.
Yeah.
See you, folks.
Sayonara.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey,
Hey,
We happened to be at the same party.
hands above your head, now!
you, stay.
I remember in the time
The new beginnings.
with me.
You make me nervous. That's
Need to dance. The way we move.
Trust me, this place is just the start for us.
Ring the bell! Shots, baby!
The only thing that matters is who you know and what you got.
Dance forever.
Gonna do this, we're doing it right.
Yo, D, this full effect? They got your name, address, they got everything. Us cops, we gotta protect each other.
Like,
You and me, Lou. We got this.
We got it.
Say Vice City, baby.
Vice City, baby!
Hey, if you got friends, can you hook me up, please?